Hey everybody, Charles for HumbleMechanic.com. Today we're going to be talking about the Mark 6 GTI water pump recall. This is episode 88 of the Humble Mechanic Podcast. So on August 6, 2015, Volkswagen released the recall for the 2011 to 2014 Mark 6 GTIs. Basically what we're doing is we're checking the water pump to see if it needs to be replaced. And what we're looking at is the suffix of the part number. If it's not a BG water pump, we're replacing these water pumps. Now, the big difference between like this water pump and the BG on quick glance is the BG has a metal face where the water pump is. I don't want to fully rehash what's going on with these water pumps. I did a video all about it. This was actually one of the first fail parts videos that I had done. So I'll put a link in the show notes for you guys to check it out. But basically they're leaking. So we're inspecting the part number. Obviously if the water pump's leaking at the time of the inspection, that makes it really easy to decide whether we're replacing the water pump or not. Now, I know you guys are going to ask, at this time, there is no other recall on any other 2-liter turbos for this water pump. Now, I don't know if Volkswagen's going to issue a recall on anything else. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not going to even speculate whether or not they will. The one thing I will tell you though, if you have to pay for this out of pocket to have your water pump replaced, be sure to save your receipts just in case it happens in the future. But again, I don't know if they're going to issue a recall on any other car. Just like you guys, I'm gonna play the wait and see game. Now, if we wind up having to replace the water pump, it's not just the pump itself that we're replacing. Obviously, that's the main component. We're also replacing a few seals and a few bolts. There's one thing that I thought was kind of odd with this repair, is we're actually replacing the seal for the balance shaft. Now the balance shaft is what actually drives this water pump with a really cute tiny little belt. And we're not replacing the belt, we're replacing the bolt that holds the gear on, which, tech tip, is a left-handed threaded bolt, so you have to tighten it to loosen it and loosen it to tighten it. But we're actually replacing the seal behind it, which is not a big deal. It only adds a few more extra minutes to what would already be a pretty basic repair. I mean, we've been replacing these water pumps for a long time now. So I think most of my fellow Volkswagen techs are pretty good at doing these pumps by now. But I thought it was odd that we were replacing the seal as part of this recall. Now, I will tell you, my fellow Volkswagen technicians, please do not just throw the seal in the bottom of your toolbox or throw it in the trash. It's part of the recall for a reason. Let's make sure we're doing a thorough job and putting this seal on. You can, on first glance, tell whether or not the seal is the old one or the new style. So please, please, please don't be a hack. Don't give everybody else in the industry a bad name. I don't mean to yell at you guys or fuss at you or anything, but I know that I had mentioned it about the axle recall, that guys were cutting the brackets or opening up the holes. Again, this is recall stuff, so please don't take these kind of shortcuts and not install the parts that come with the kit. Suck it up, replace it. It pays $2.7 to replace the water pump. It pays $0.2 to inspect it. We've been doing these pumps long enough that you guys should be pretty well versed at doing it, so don't take any stupid, lazy shortcuts. Now, this recall or service action actually has an expiration date. It expires December 31st of 2018, so don't wait to get this done. If you have a 2011 to 2014 Volkswagen GTI with a 2-liter turbo, which all of them had a 2-liter turbo in the US, call your local dealership and have them check your VIN to see if this applies to your vehicle. After the recall, I wasn't able to locate the exact number, but from memory, I want to say it affected about 24,000 cars. That's just a guess. It may not have been that many. I know we're just now starting to see them trickle in. I don't think we've had anyone actually come in specifically to get their recall done. But every time a customer brings their vehicle in, we always check them for open campaigns, open recalls, any kind of required vehicle updates that the car may have, and we go ahead and take care of them at that point. So that's how most of them have come through. I want to say we've really only done a handful of them. And we had one earlier today that we checked and had already had the new style water pump. So that's pretty much the 19K5 Mark 6 GTI water pump recall in a nutshell. It's a pretty straightforward recall. Again, the water pumps develop leaks over time. So we're inspecting the part number, and if it needs to be replaced, we're replacing the part. For those of you that drive the Mark 6 GTI that has this recall open, I would leave yourself 3 to 4 hours in order for us to get this repair done. This is another job, like a lot of jobs, that you don't want to rush through. The installation of these pumps is really not that hard, but getting it set on the alignment pins is very, very important. Also, the torque on the pump is very important, so make sure you're giving the technician plenty of time to do his job. Let him do a thorough job, let him do it right so that we're not having a workmanship issue down the road. And best case scenario, drop your car off so you don't have to sit at the dealership for 4 hours while they do your work. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you have any questions or comments, unless the question is, will they release this recall on any other Volkswagens? Because again, I don't know. Post it in the comments section below. Hey, if you like the video, throw it a thumbs up on YouTube. I always appreciate that. You can also subscribe on YouTube or on the blog at humblemechanic.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the blog, and obviously here on YouTube. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Beer of the day. It's been so long since I've done Beer of the Day at the end of the show, but Beer of the Day, Carolina Brewing Company, Pop Roar IPA, awesome local brewery.